Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, Bitcoin is still doing pretty darn good, but there is a breakout point that I think is about to be broken. And if so, watch out. Watch out. Bitcoin will be moving up in a big way. But what is this breakout point and how does it affect Bitcoin? Well, let's take a look. And also, let's talk about this one thing that's happening today, and that is this new infrastructure bill that a lot of people is talking about, a lot of people are worried about. Let's take a look at what's going on with it and why so many are worried about it. So, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you know. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Saturday morning. Of course, I did not stream last night. I was, enjoying my Friday night, and hopefully you guys were too. And Bitcoin just kept going and going and going and going, and it just didn't stop. In fact, very, very, very early morning, Bitcoin topped out. There was a sudden pump. It went up to like 44.6 before coming down. And right, like 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, there seemed to be some kind of sell-off, right? So we were at pretty much at 43 something. And then all of a sudden went down to 42.5. Like the bears were trying to do something. But the bulls are like, just bought it right back up. So we're pretty much sitting right where we were, a little bit higher before this mini dump, I guess, happened. But overall, if you zoom out, you realize, man, Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear, just continues to break higher. And at 43.5, it is sitting against what I believe is this breakout point. And that is the 20 moving average on the weekly. And I've been showing you guys this for quite some time. And the 20 MA is interesting. Whenever something's very hot, you could apply this, at least for me. I've looked at it on many altcoins and Bitcoin. And you can apply on different time frames. But you could clearly see when Bitcoin was in a very bullish rally, and this was from the bottom of 3,800 all the way up to 60,000. You can see it never went below this 20 moving average on the weekly. But there's been times where Bitcoin has dipped below, but when it comes back up in a really strong manner, or fast manner, I should say, usually it's a very bullish thing. So right now, that's what we're seeing. Bitcoin dipped below. A lot of people got very bearish, but I said, you know what? We have seen this before. We have seen periods where Bitcoin just turns around, and that is what we're seeing right now. And we're pressed right against that breakout point, I believe. So that's right where we are. And I've been saying this. And if we can break through this, well, then there's really not left. There's not much left at all. The next point is really 50,000. And then the point after that is 60,000. I mean, it's really right around the corner. So this is why I've been saying, the last few months to stay the course, have steady hands, actually not have steady hands, but have diamond hands, because things could come up really, really quickly. And they have for the last 2 weeks, and it could definitely continue. And if we do break this, breakout point, yeah, 50,000 could be right around the corner. And after that, it's 60,000. There's really nothing else, because we fell down so fast. Look at it. We fell down so fast from 60,000 to 50 to 40. After this point, there's nothing. There's nothing to stop at. It'll be 50 and 60 right around the corner. So let's see what happens. The bulls are definitely in control right now. There's just a lot of good news. There's a lot of fantastic news, in fact. And of course, there's a lot of buying. Yes, there is a lot of buying. Ultimately, why does Bitcoin go up? Because of the buying. There's a lot of buying. And I have this interesting metric to show you guys that's not good for gold bugs. So according to sentiment, Bitcoin surge goes in line with gold actually falling. They're actually at an inverse relationship right now. So if you take a look at here, you see the yellow is gold price and green is Bitcoin's price. And you can see gold has dropped tremendously recently while Bitcoin has gone up. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I think a lot of gold bugs, or I don't know, big institutions that's holding gold decided to say, hey, we're done. Gold's not going anywhere. We want to see the gains with Bitcoin. So I don't think that's a coincidence at all. But I've been showing you guys a lot of metrics recently, a lot of bottom indicators, a lot of very positive things that show Bitcoin, has bottomed out and is starting to come back up, and it's forming this like second leg up, right? And that is what it's looking like right now. Things are just moving slowly but surely, but things could be moving really, really quickly very soon. Very, very soon. Oh, by the way, I forgot to bring this up. Crypto, what is it? The greed index. Look at this. Look at this. We are now at 69 for greed. Remember when I was telling you guys this, and this wasn't not like last year. This was just a few weeks ago. Whenever you have a clump of fear, right? That's usually a good bottom indicator too. And we were stuck in the 10s and 20s for quite some time. And I said, hey, you know what? This is a pretty good indication, because if you look at all previous times where you had just a clump of fear, those were really good buying opportunities, right? This one, it was expanded out a little bit, but you could clearly see we had that clump over here, and then now we have shot past it, and how things have turned really fast. Sentiment went from extreme fear to now greed. We're not in extreme greed yet, but pretty soon, if we break above 50,000, it will be extreme freed. Greed, not freed. There will be extreme greed. And those weak hands that left, that panic sold, they're going to be looking to FOMO back in. So hopefully, you guys watching, you're not going to be doing the same, because you didn't panic sell. You've been holding all this time. All right, so just want to show that. Of course, what is going on with Ethereum? Well, Ethereum is doing fantastic. Ethereum is above $3,000. And take a look at Ethereum's performance. I've been talking about how Ethereum could decouple from Bitcoin this year. Well, some argues maybe it has already. Not completely, but if you look at 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, 1 year, it has outperformed Bitcoin in every single time frame. So Ethereum is definitely an altcoin, or soon not even an altcoin. It's just, I don't even know what you call Ethereum once it's not an altcoin. But Ethereum is definitely on a roll, and it's only less than 1,000 points. No, it's about 1,000 points less than its previous highs. Previous high right here on the right side, you can see 4,400. It's well on its way. EIP 1559 has been a fantastic thing so far. The upgrade went very smoothly, no hiccups. Coin burning is still on its way, and things are looking very, very good for Ethereum right now. However, this does relate to the infrastructure bill, so I do want to talk about that really quick. All right. Lastly, two things before I get talking about the infrastructure bill. Those of you guys that are Ecomi fans or Spider-Man fans, the drop happened this morning. Spider-Man on the VV app. I saw some people in the live chat say they grabbed, a few Spider-Mans. Well, good for you. This is one of many out there. And Ecomi has become a new partner of this channel, but I've supported them for quite some time. They are definitely a powerhouse with all the IP, all the licensing. They are unmatched in the crypto space at this point. All right, what else is there? Well, let's just talk about it. This new infrastructure bill, this new $1 trillion infrastructure bill, this is very encompassing. And I don't know the non-crypto aspects of it, because there is a lot more to it, and it's going to add a lot more debt to the U.S. deficit. But how it relates to crypto is because there's this requirement that's just kind of pushed in there in terms of taxes and taxing crypto. So why this is important is because these requirements, according to the provisions within the bill, is stating that proof of work, proof of stake, developers, wallet makers. This could relate to nodes. If you're powering a node, if you're powering a master node, or you're staking within a wallet, basically, this bill proposes that you have to basically submit to the IRS KYC information and financial information, which they're basically treating any proof of stake project like it's a centralized exchange. And the thing is, they already taken out proof of work. So if you are Bitcoin and you're Ethereum at its current point, you're exempt. But proof of stake projects are not exempt. So that is what the worry is about right now, because if it happens to pass through, this would be disastrous for all proof of stake projects, because basically as a node, I mean, if you're just staking and you're powering the network, as a node, you have to give up all this KYC information, collect all this financial information, and submit it to IRS for tax reporting. Even though in some cases you may not even be those funds that stake may not even be yours. It may be other people's, right? And the whole point of decentralization is you don't collect those information, right? So if you're, I don't know, let's say you're a Cardano pool, right? You have a lot of validators within. You have a lot of people that's staking in your pool. Right now, you're required to collect KYC information on all those people. Right? Think about it. No one wants to give that up. So that is why a lot of people is fighting back. Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, basically said that the senator that's really pushing this, driving this, is Mark Warner. And this is basically disastrous. You're giving them, Congress power to decide what project is good and what project is not, right? But we do have some senators that is totally against this, Loomis, Wyden, and Toomey, which have basically proposed an amendment to the infrastructure bill that will remove the requirements for proof of stake projects to do these kind of reportings, just like proof of work projects. So there is basically what's happening right now is there's a lot of support for this new amendment. And if you want to support it, you could call your congressman and basically tell them you want to support this. But even looking on Twitter, you have a lot of people that is very concerned. Even Elon, I have to call him Elon now because he is in support of, or he's against what's going on here. And he even replied to Brian saying, agree, this is not time to pick technology winners or losers in cryptocurrency technology. There is no crisis that compels hasty legislation, and that is true. And everyone that is someone within the crypto communities basically fighting back and urging people to do something about it, right? So when is this going to be voted upon? That's the thing. I don't know when. It's supposed to be this weekend, and I've been hearing it's tonight, but I don't have any specific times. I don't know when. So this is coming very, very soon. But a lot of times these proposals, this infrastructure bill is like a big deal for Biden. Unfortunately, this was kind of like just slid in. So it may be passed right away, maybe not. But we'll have to see what happens, right? So we do have support. Not every congressperson is in favor of this. There's many that's not in favor of this. So we'll have to see. Right? One person that has been confirmed that's not favor of the Wyden, Loomis, and Toomey bill is Janet Yellen. I don't know why Janet Yellen has a say in this. She's not for it. In fact, she wants that KYC information and tax reporting to be done with proof of stake projects. So she's been lobbying against the Wyden, Loomis, Toomey amendment. So I don't know why, but it's been reported that she has been. So Again, if you want to do something about it, right, go ahead. Go ahead and call your congressman right now and let him know that you want to support this amendment. But for the rest of us, we just have to wait, see what happens with this. It could be pulled out. This amendment could be added in. Maybe, there's more deliberation, I don't know, for this bill. We'll just have to see. So there you go. That's the whole thing. Now, should you be 100% worried? For me, I've said this before. I'm waiting to see, okay? So I don't think there's 100% worry, but this is something that Michael Saylor have said. This is why he's sticking with just Bitcoin, because he says Bitcoin is digital property, and it's much easier to regulate than, say, digital DeFi or digital companies or financial companies and protocols, right? So I think we will get through this. Even if the worst case scenario happens, I think we will get through this. But it's a little bit early to be falling for this FUD right now. Okay? There's a lot of FUD around it. I think we will get through this. This could end up just working itself out. But if not, if you want to do something about it, go ahead and do so. All right. Now, let's move on from here. What else is there? Well, two other things that's actually not so positive. I've been trying to find some more positive things. Obviously, the price is going the right direction, but there's some non-positive stuff that's going on right now. For example, Binance's US. Binance just cannot catch a break right now. Binance.us, their new CEO, Brian Brooks, have just resigned after 3 months. And he was hired to handle all the regulatory issues that may be coming to centralized exchanges, and he decided to say, I'm done. So I don't know who else Binance is going to hire to replace this Binance.us position. CZ himself said that he wanted to hire his own replacement, someone that does have experience working with regular regulatory bodies and people in this space. But well, as of right now, not to cause FUD, as of right now, Binance.us is still fine. Just because he's gone doesn't mean it just like goes away. In fact, I use Binance.us. If you're in the US and you can't use Binance, Binance.us is the way to go, and they are their own separate entity. But this is kind of like unexpected that a brand new CEO, a very hyped up CEO, have just stepped down. So not good. Not good. And lastly, SEC claims its first enforcement action against a DeFi project in terms of a $30 million fraud case. And this is going after a project that already shut its doors because they knew they were a scam or a Ponzi. So I actually like this. And many people say, no, George, what are you talking about? They should not be going after DeFi projects. Well, it's because you have these scammers that created something, a Ponzi scheme. They tried to make it look legit and say it's DeFi, but in fact, they weren't DeFi at all. They were basically a Ponzi. They were promising people high interest by buying into this token that they were supposed to invest in loans, car loans, but they didn't invest in the car loans at all. What they did was take two new people's money and use that to pay out the interest. Yeah, that's a Ponzi. And I'm sure there's many other projects that do the same thing. Many hyped up projects right now that keep going up to the moon. You know what? I have no doubt some of them operate in the same way. So the SEC did go after them and made them pay back everything they collected and stuff. And here's the thing. According to this article, Tim Draper also backed the project. So seems like maybe Tim Draper was fooled in this one too. So this is also a new thing. This is why Uniswap recently came out and delisted a whole bunch of synthetic tokens that they thought they were securities, because the SEC is serious about just going after any project that may have sold a security, DeFi or non-DeFi, it doesn't matter. But in this case, if you read what happened, this is definitely a good thing, because these guys were just running a Ponzi and they were hiding it behind a DeFi project when in fact it wasn't a DeFi project at all, right? So this is why I think some regulation could be good for the industry, although some will argue you want zero regulations. Well, then a lot of people will get hurt. A lot of people get hurt. All right. So with that said, that's pretty much it. I mean, today is a fantastic day. It was. I didn't want to bring up so much negative news, but I feel I had to. I had to cover an infrastructure bill, Binance, U.S. CEO, and this SEC. But don't let that fool you. The market is very healthy, still going the right direction. Market cap is nearing 1.8 billion. No, trillion, not billion, trillion. And there's just a lot of good things happening right now. There's so much good things happening right now, though there's a lot of fear out there, a lot of FUD, but a lot of good things is happening right now. So, all right, let's do some Q&A. Matthew, hey George, it's me, Maddie Love. What? What's your thoughts on BAT, and say hello to Australia for me? There's a lot of people from Australia that watch me. BAT has stated, I'm still the same with BAT. I just know that they haven't created a really good system to get people to hold BAT. That's the problem why it doesn't go up as much as others. So Brave Browser's still good. They have a beta search engine. They have their own DEX that's coming out soon. They have their own secure wallet. So they're working on stuff. It's just they haven't really created a system to have people hold on BAT. But I think they'll figure it out. They're definitely a fantastic project. And then scrolling up. A lot of... someone asked about Energy Web token. It was hyped up before because some people thought there was a loose connection with Warren Buffett and Tesla, and maybe Tesla will adopt Energy Web token. I don't think that's true, but Energy Web token it's promising. They're in the energy trading business, but there's a lot of regulations that come with that. So not every market allows you to do that, and we'll just have to see. They compete with Power Ledger, which used to be really, really hot back in the day, but they haven't done that either. I mean, they haven't really grown either. That's what I meant to say. Big fan, long-time watcher, first chat. I'm thinking about swapping 0.5 BTC for ETH. Smart here in the Netherlands. It all depends on your portfolio breakup. Okay, now if you look at history with ETH right now within the past year, it has been doing really well, right? But you never want to give up on Bitcoin. So 50, 25, 25, is what I advise. 50% Bitcoin, 25% big caps, 25% is mid to small caps. Now, some people have asked me, hey, can I make the 25% of big caps bigger because of how strong Ethereum is? Yeah. If you want to deviate a little bit, 40... let's say 40, 35, 25, something like that. Sure, because Ethereum is so hot and it's considered a big cap, right? But if you're switching 100%, I think it's always wise to hold some Bitcoin. Someone said Brian Brooks to CFTC. Maybe I don't know. CFTC is the only body that's telling the SEC, hey. We know you think everything is a security, but not everything is a security. So I do like that. I think right now the CFTC doesn't have any head person. Ever since Giancarlo left, I think it's just you have a bunch of commissioners, but you don't have no main commissioner. I don't even know the head of it. Scrolling down. Any updates on Cosmos? No, there is none. Still waiting waiting for a gravity DEX. Hasn't come yet. Hanand, thank you. API 3 is Oracle. I don't like any oracles, okay? From the fact that all these Oracle projects, none of them are used other than Chainlink. So someone asked me that earlier, like, why don't you like oracles? No, I have nothing against oracles themselves, but all these smaller oracles, there's no use. Every single project uses Chainlink. They only use one of these oracles as a secondary, because most projects that need an oracle needs to be sure that the data feed is 100%, especially DeFi projects. It can't be off by second, by millisecond, by a dollar. It always has to be up. So Chainlink definitely has the most robust Oracle network out there. Now, something like API 3, and others are claiming that they're just as good, but I would still go with Chainlink. William says, check out Burn One. We're first cannabis advocacy coin. We launched major tech upgrades. Here's the thing. Back in 2017, I got into all the cannabis projects. None of them turned out well. And it seems like no shops take them either. Right? So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work out for you, William. Potcoin, Hempcoin, TC, there was another one. There was a lot of them. None of them worked out. Can you explain how Georgecoin yields Rally tokens? Rally has their own proprietary setup, basically. They basically have a rewards mechanism for holding it. I don't know the calculation. I don't know the percentages of it. What price do you see BPro hitting at the end of the bull cycle? 10 cents reasonable? I mean, they were as high as 4 cents before. So I think it's 40 cents. No, 4 cents. They're about 1 cent. I'm sorry. Yeah, so they were as high as 4 cents before. So they could definitely climb higher. Can they hit 10 cents? Sure. BPro tends to be pumped a lot, dumped, pumped. But overall, Rue and company, they're smart guys. They're going the right direction. People are adopting our new NFT marketplace. So that is fantastic. Scaling solution for ETH. The Winklebosses are backing. There's a ton of layer 2s. A ton of layer 2s for Ethereum. So it's hard to pick which one is going to win. But the biggest one right now has to be Polygon. Polygon starts a layer 2. Now they're standing on as their own chain. But you have a lot of Ethereum, not only layer 2s, but you have a lot of EVM compatible chains too. Harmony is one of them. Who's the other one? Phantom is another one. There's a lot that's out there in addition to the layer 2 solutions. I don't know if Scale can stand out. Winklebosses, they may see something, but there's just so many. And Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to come out by the end of the year. So that's also a concern. Chris, Godfrey, hey, appreciate that. Appreciate it. I don't have any comments on why YF die. What do you think about Ergo as a Cardano play? I think out of all the Cardano plays I've seen, Ergo is probably the most promising one. I know there's a lot that's pending right now. Ergo is one of them, but they look like they're the most legit so far. So far. Why do you like Filecoin and hate Akash? Big companies have monopoly on cloud computing and Akash fixes this. I don't hate them. It's just that they have to be adopted first. Just because you have a project, and what does that have to do with Filecoin? It has nothing to do with Filecoin. The two are so different. Akash is just like IRC and many others that's in the space that's trying to come out decentralized cloud computing. But until they could actually prove that they can do it, why would you invest in it, right? So that's the reason why. To get people to come off of AWS and Azure is hard. But if Akash could get a lot of companies to do that, then it makes sense that you want to invest in this company. But right now, Doesn't seem like that's the case. Matt, thank you. SG Man, thank you. Jen says I got burned by Potcoin. Yeah, cannabis stuff. I don't know why. Cannabis crypto should make the most sense. But I guess then again, you could just use Bitcoin. You could use Ethereum. You could use anything to pay, right? But it just seems like crypto doesn't catch on with the cannabis industry. And it just seems like the two is so perfectly made for each other. Why is AMP tanking? I don't think AMP is tanking. Jesse, people keep asking about VPunks on VeChain. I mean, it's CryptoPunks is very hot, but there's a lot of copies now. There's VPunks, which I have not looked at. There's SPunks, which is on Solana. There's PPunks on Polygon, right? Are they worth long-term hold? It's anyone's guess. If there's a lot of people that really love it, and you know they want it in the future, it could be worth holding, right? But all these punk copycats are copycats. The first of its kind is still CryptoPunks. So I do think CryptoPunks will hold value better than everything else. That's my opinion. Let's see. Scrolling down. Gravity Dex live, but UI comes out soon. Yeah, so that has to be done. And the bridge will be huge for Cosmos. I think so. Well, it could be, because it basically allows ERC20 stuff to come over, and that could be a pretty big thing. So their decks could be huge, huge. AMP or ACH, OMI or Axis. I don't know, man. Just diversify all of them. I know what you're trying to do, but it's too hard to make that call. I like AMP. I do think ACH has promise, but it has been pumped up so much, so it's best to wait for that to stabilize. But they do have promise. OMI and Axie, they're both different. Very different. One is more for, NFTs. One is for gaming. So Axis is obviously bigger market cap, but that doesn't mean that they're better. So yeah, you should just diversify among all of them. I think they all have very good promise. Let's put it that way. Forest, thank you. Micropayments, ETH compatibility. On Theta blockchain. That's not what Theta is meant for. Theta is not meant for that. Theta is a video delivering platform, right? Streaming delivery platform. So ETH compatibility and micropayments, I don't think that helps them at all. Rick says Kathy Wood. Kathy Wood above FUD. Covalent is better version of Graph. I don't know. The Graph has not been doing that well either. Having APIs for DeFi projects is great, but it's not necessary to actually utilize the Graph to do that. But they're still the biggest player in the game. So as for your question of whether or not Covalent is better, I think it's irrelevant. Something could be better, but it needs to have usage, basically. Maddie, thank you. All right, I think that's all the big questions. No, I missed some. I don't have liquidity to buy the last dip, but now I do. What do you think about putting half the cash in now, another half waiting? I say you spread it out or DCA. I say that's the best way to do it. I mean, obviously we have come up quite a bit, right? So We may stall a little bit. We may come down a little bit, but we're pressed against that breakout point. If we break it, we can have a huge pump. If we don't, maybe we come down a little bit. But the best way, the surest thing is to DCA. DCA, so go ahead and do that. Then you don't have to worry. Should I buy VET or VThor? VET. VET is locked. There's a set supply. VThor is not. So I'd go with VET. Could you, Joshua asks, can you explain a bit on NFTs? Can an ETH chain NFT to be sent to an engine chain? No. So the NFT, the chain that resides on that. Now, if you have a universal wallet that could take NFTs from multiple chains, that's different. That wallet could store them, right? But you can't send a ETH NFT to, say, I don't know, a Cosmos chain or something. That doesn't make any sense. You need some kind of compatibility. Most likely like a wallet. And there are some that could do that. But I can't tell you if that's a wrong move or not. Etacoin, I don't know. They have pumped up a lot. So I would say you better wait it out and see. Read first 100 pages of Creatures, Jekyll's Island. I am absolutely fearful. Thanks to you, I put in BTC and ETH. Yeah, I mean I have not finished the book. In fact, I didn't get very far. But the very first 100 pages, yes, does describe a very why the Federal Reserve was created, and it was not for the best intentions of the people or banks. It was basically it was created to keep the biggest banks in control and giving them more power. So, yeah, hopefully things have changed, evolved since then. My sources say the bill just passed this morning. If it did, it would have been reported, but it seems like that's not the case. And usually these bills do not pass that fast. But maybe it did, but I did not see it. Let's see. Yeah, even from 2 hours ago. This is from 31 minutes ago. I don't think it passed. Now it goes up to 1.2 trillion. It was 1, now it became 1.2. So the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The one thing that's for sure that's coming out of this is that we're going to have more deficit. The U.S. deficit is going to go higher. And there's no way to pay for this. So again, there's going to be more money printed, and we're going to see more inflation. That's for sure happening. That's for sure 100% happening. So to be a Bitcoin holder is definitely a smart move. That is one thing for sure that is coming out of this. All right. Anything else? All right. I think that's it. That's it. All right, guys. Overall, Bitcoin is doing fantastic. Ethereum is doing fantastic. Everything is doing pretty fantastic. Other than this worry about the infrastructure bill. So let's see what happens later today or tomorrow or this weekend. A lot of people do not like it. A lot of people wants the amendment from Loomis, Wyden, and Toomey to be passed or to be added on so that proof of stake projects are exempt from tax reporting requirements and KYC requirements. And that definitely sounds like the right move. So if you want to support it, call your congressman right now and tell them you want to support this amendment. All right. So let's see what happens if this gets approved or removed or extended. Let's see. So tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Maybe a little bit later. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I can stream tonight. I have something going on, so I may not be able to stream. So follow me on Twitter, and I'll let you guys know if I'm able to do so or not. All right? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. All right?